Hi everyone, welcome to part 1 of Save or Splurge, what I think you should spend on and what you can save money on. Even if you're on a budget, you can treat yourself to high-end products. It's just a case of knowing where to spend your money, knowing where you can save, because sometimes you end up buying a high-end product because you buy it once and you love it, rather than going through every single drugstore brand and being disappointed. Part 1 is going to be base products. So first up is primers, and for primers I have to say high-end is the best. I just feel like there's so many options with high-end brands. You're definitely going to find something suitable for your skin type. I just think that at the drugstore, primers have a long way to go in terms of improving the formula. So my favourite high-end primers, I have talked about this one before from Clinique. This is so grubby now because it's rubbed off all the black products in my kit. This is the Clinique Super Primer Universal Face Primer. This is a primer I would use on someone with normal skin, because if they do have a long day, even if they might not necessarily need a primer, this is just a little bit of extra insurance. For really oily skin, I love the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. They're usually going to need just that little bit more oil control, and this just really helps the foundation glide on, but will stop that oil control and leave them with a bit more of a matte finish. My absolute favourite one though is the Illamasqua Hydra Veil. This is like a really funny jelly texture that melts and feels like water, like it's literally a drink for the skin. It's got hyaluronic acid in, and I use this as soon as someone says they get a little bit dry or whatever, or I feel like their skin needs a little pick-me-up. Next up is foundation, and again I have to say foundation is something to invest in. The only cheaper foundation I've ever truly loved is the Rimmel Lasting Finish. I know there's other foundations now from the drugstore like the L'Oreal Pro Matte or whatever it's called. That one is supposed to be really good as well, and they've just come out with a glowy version. I've not personally tried them. It's so specific to your skin type. I know so many people who are so disappointed with cheaper foundations because they've got oily skin and they just feel like all of them grease up on them or whatever, and then they try something like Estee Lauder Double Wear and their life has changed, and I'm just like, you probably could have just gone to Estee Lauder straight away and bought that and saved yourself the same amount of money than if you'd traipsed around Boots and Superdrug all the time buying new cheap foundations that you're not gonna like. You guys know I love the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. This is one for oilier skin. I don't think this works on dry skin or dehydrated skin. I definitely couldn't wear this over the winter when my skin was dehydrated because it does cling a little bit, but if you're oily, this is incredible. I love Illamasqua Skin Base. It's my #1 foundation. Use it on brides, proms, evening makeups, all skin types. It can be adapted depending on what primer you use and powder and everything. It's absolutely incredible. I highly recommend you try it out. So don't be discouraged if you've watched the first 2 and thought, is she gonna say high-end for everything? Because for concealer, I honestly think saving money and buying a cheaper brand is the way to go. Particularly Maybelline seems to be a popular one. The one with the little sponge tip, people love that one. I've not personally tried it. I've used the Barry M1 and that was really nice. That was a very kind of light reflecting concealer. The collection Lasting Perfection is like a cult favourite for a reason. It's like £4, but it has the most incredible coverage. I'm also loving the NYX Dark Circle concealer at the moment. I've tried loads and I have been pretty impressed with the ones that I've tried. And lastly, let's talk about powder. Powder for me, I've never really been fussy about powder, so funnily enough I've got 2 splurges and 2 saves, and powder is definitely a save for me. I think powder is powder, and it's really hard to find a kind of sophisticated formula when it comes to powder, because generally they're gonna have things like talc in and very generic cheaper ingredients that give that mattifying effect. So I personally don't love spending loads of money on powder. A lot of the time the big loose powders from like industry brands are really affordable because you might spend like a tenner when you first buy it, but it will last you like a year, because with loose powder you only use the tiniest amount. My favourite at the moment is the Makeup International Superfine Translucent Face Powder, and I have gone through a ton of this. This, from what I've read, is very similar to the RCMA No Colour Powder, which is another favourite, and that's again really affordable. All powder does for me is sets makeup in place and mattifies, and any powder can do that from any brand, I personally think. I've never been wowed by a powder. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments. I would love to have a discussion about this because I do think makeup is personal. This is just my personal opinion from what I've used and experienced at the end of the day. So you might think differently. So we can chat about that in the comments. Leave me a comment, leave me feedback about this little mini series. Next week is going to be eyes, so all about eye products, so check back next Friday for that one as well. Subscribe if you're not already, and give this video a thumbs up to let me know you're looking forward to the rest of the series. I will see you in my next video on Sunday. Bye!